This is a getting started video of how to get started with Merge VM Pro on Windows. So first things first, you need to go to Google and type in QEMU. Okay, push enter, go to qemu.org. Then go to download up here, and then go to Windows and download either the 32-bit or the 64-bit version. It's very important you have the right version. Make sure your system is 64-bit or 32-bit. This may or may not work on ARM. We have not tested it on ARM, but it may or may not work. Okay, so then just download the latest setup right here. Okay, wait till that downloads. While that's downloading, you really should have either HaxM or Hyper-V installed. To install Hyper-V, go to turn Windows features on or off and enable this over here. And make sure every single item is enabled. Hyper-V is a prerequisite of Merge VM Pro because Merge VM Pro leverages the power of Hyper-V. If you do not have Hyper-V installed, I will show you a workaround to get Merge VM Pro working without Hyper-V or HaxM. HaxM only runs on Intel processors, where Hyper-V also runs on AMD processors. HaxM can be downloaded from Intel. Okay, now that QEMU is done downloading, let's go to downloads, QEMU, and literally just install it. Make sure you choose the default directory when installing this. Must be installed in C Program Files QEMU. No other directory. Just hit install and let it do its thing. I'm not editing this video so you can see the full process of how this is set up. While that's downloading, I'm going to go to the Microsoft Store. Okay, and I'm going to type in Merge VM Pro. Okay, and I'm going to hit install. This is the latest version. Should have this icon, not the red one. The red one is the incorrect version. Okay, now that QEMU and Merge VM Pro are both installed, let's go to, let's open up Merge VM Pro. And if it's the first time you're launching it, it will ask you, I have launched this before on this machine, so it will ask you where QEMU is located. If you did not choose the proper directory when you set it up, you need to go to File, Preferences, QEMU, and then just browse here to the correct folder, which is in C. Program Files, QEMU, and then just hit Open Folder, and then you'll get nothing here. What you need to do is hit this icon over here. Then it will populate the system with all the possible QEMU versions. Then hit Save. And then to make a Windows 10 VM, I'm going to close this window so it's not confusing. And I'm going to delete my previous Windows 10 VM. Click on New VM. And then I'm going to name it Windows 10. And you basically choose Windows and Windows 10. And it supports all of those versions of Windows listed there. Now, it's very important you do not select anything in there. Do not touch this screen. This is for debugging purposes. Do not touch this screen. Do not edit this screen. Just click Next. And then it's very important that you put 1, 1, 1. Okay. And then here, unless you're emulating a 486, you gotta choose if you're using Hyper-V, choose hosts. If you're not using Hyper-V, I'll show you later how to do that. And then make sure you choose VirtIO GPU under Audio, uncheck ALC 97 and choose Intel HD Audio. And under Network, make sure User Mode is selected. Click Next. And here's where the HaxM is installed. You must have HaxM installed for this to work. If you have an AMD processor like I do in this machine, or if you don't have HaxM in your Intel processor, you need to make sure Hyper-V is enabled. So uncheck that and choose Windows Hypervisor Platform. Now, if you don't have either one of these, like you have the home version of Windows and you don't have HaxM or Windows Hypervisor Platform, you need to uncheck both of these. Make sure they're both unchecked and choose TCG, which is Tiny Code Generator. That is the slowest version of acceleration, but it does work. I will show you in a second. But I'm going to choose Windows Hypervisor Platform because I have Hyper-V enabled. Okay, I'm going to click Next, and I'm going to give I have 40 gigs of RAM in this machine. I'm going to give it 8 gigs of RAM. Okay. Alright. And I'm going to create a new virtual disk. It does work with all of these virtual disk types. QCOW2 is the one that's recommended. And then I'm just going to give it 100 gigs. Okay, next. And finish. Click OK. And here's a very important part. If you just start this, it's not going to start. So what you need to do is make sure you change hosts. And there is a bug with our software which doesn't allow you to choose hosts. So I recommend choosing something like, I don't know, Haswell. Haswell seems to work really well. So choose Haswell. And then if I just choose Haswell and I have Windows Hypervisor selected and I hit save, now it starts. You'll see it start in a second. There it goes. So now it started. Okay. So you need to go under boot options and enable CD-ROM. You need to go to media and browse to a optical media source. Go to downloads, choose your Windows 10 ISO, and then just hit save, and then just start her up. And you'll see a black screen. It's completely normal. This is how QEMU works. Just wait for it, give it a few minutes, and you should see a setup screen in a second. I'm not going to actually go through the entire setup. Just literally wait till this finishes. You'll see a blinking cursor over there. That's how you know it's doing something. This is completely normal. Just wait. HaxM is a little bit faster, but you must have a CPU that's compatible with HaxM for that to work. Like I said, I'm not editing this video, so you can see exactly how long it's supposed to take. This is on a Ryzen 7 5800H with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 Ti. It's a laptop. Also, it's really important that you have virtualization enabled in the BIOS before you do any of this. It does take quite a while. There it goes. Once you see that little dash go away, you know Windows is booting up now. And you can see that the Windows logo does show on the actual boot up. And it does not take long to boot up. It just takes a long time to read through the IDE connector of the DVD drive, the virtual DVD drive. But the actual operating system is pretty speedy under virtualize under the Windows virtualization platform. So as you can see, I can click through it. I can install Windows. And this also works for all versions of Windows from like 1.0 to modern versions of Windows such as Windows 10. And then I'm just going to go here. And then I want to go down to Pro. Okay, I accept. And then next. And see, I'm able to install this. But I'm not going to. I'm sure if you're watching this, you know how to install an operating system. Okay, so now let me show you what you need to do if you don't have virtualization enabled. So if you don't have virtualization enabled, you're running a 32-bit operating system, or if you're running a version of Windows that's not Pro and you don't have hypervisor platform, or you don't have HaxM or any of that, you need to make sure you uncheck this first and under Accelerator, and you need to go to Tiny Code Generator, TCG. That's the one that needs to be checked. Okay, and then under Hardware, you must choose a CPU, such as a Core 2 Duo, one of these, Haswell, any of these CPUs. You need to make sure you choose a CPU and not bridged and not hosts. And then you also need to make sure you give it graphics, which is the same. I do recommend this QXL for older OSs. Where is it? Sorry, I'm a little bit blind. QXL, this one. That's the one I recommend for older OSs such as XP, Vista, 7, 8, that kind of stuff. Windows 10, I recommend VirtIO. Okay. And then RAM, keep it the same. And then don't touch this screen. Don't touch the screen. This is for debugging. Okay. And just hit save. Okay. And now if I click run, it will also boot up the same way. So I just wanted to show you guys what happens if you choose HackSum to boot up. So if I uncheck this tiny code generator and I left it as the default, what is it? Hardware accelerated. This HackSum. This is the HackSum option. If I left that as the default and I try to boot this up, nothing happens because I don't have HackSum installed. Plus, this is an AMD CPU, and AMD CPUs do not support HackSum. And if I have none of these selected, it doesn't boot up. So you must have at least one of those selected. And it depends on your system which one you have selected. Hyper-V is for Hyper-V systems. Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11 Pro. Tiny Code Generator is for any system. And Windows Hypervisor. Hardware Accelerated HackSum. That is for Intel systems with HackSum installed. I will put a link in the description where you can download HackSum. And it's just a matter of fiddling around with the accelerators to see which one would boot up your operating system the fastest and which one runs your operating system the fastest. I just wanted to add on and show you that it does not boot up if you just choose the default option as the HackSem. But HackSem is the recommended option. Definitely recommended if you have that technology in your CPU. You must have it in your CPU and you must download HackSem. And I will put a link in the description to where you can download HackSem. And the HackSem is only available on Intel CPUs, basically modern Intel CPUs. So, like, I think it's the cutoff is either 7th gen or 8th gen, but that keeps changing. As HackSem grows, it keeps changing and they keep discontinuing CPUs. So that's why there's always that tiny code generator as an option in Merge VM Pro. And the crazy thing is Merge VM Pro will boot up a 64-bit operating system on a 32-bit processor running Windows 10. It's kind of crazy, but that will work. Okay, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you next one. All right, bye.